Hi and welcome to Healthy Life Hacks. I'm Jefferies, the present day wise woman, a realistic naturopath coming to you from the surfing beaches of Australia. This podcast is for those of you who are wanting to really rock your life and health and live from a place of prevention. Let's get into today's episode. Excellence! Excellence is about the quality of being outstanding or extremely good versus perfectionism, which is being faultless and free of any flaw. It's not real, guys. Why? Because perfection can never be achieved. Now, are you being held back because you're trying to be a perfectionist? I know I did in my younger years, and that's why I want to talk about it today. I love Brené Brown. I am such a fan of her work, and she's done great work around perfectionism and how it impacts our lives. And she talks about that there's 4 destructive traits of perfectionism. So they are, 1, that it's self-destructive and it becomes an addictive belief system that is fueled by, 1, I think, if I look perfect, everything will be great and everyone will love me. That's kind of it. I can avoid and minimize painful feelings of blame and judgment and shame. The reality is, though, it is an unattainable goal. And it's more about perception than an internal motivation to actually do a great job. It's the perception about wanting to not get stuck in the pain of feeling shame, blame, judgment, all those things. And the reality is we can't control perception. We can't, no matter how much energy and that we put into it. And so what happens is this perfectionism, it's an addiction. And the act of being a perfectionist and procrastinating actually makes us experience the shame and judgment and blame, even though we're not even getting a chance to put it out there, because we give ourselves such a hard time because we're trying to get it perfect enough to get out. So perfectionism is not the key to success. It's just not. It's striving for excellence, and it's about having a healthy achievement for growth. Perfectionism is not self-improvement. At its core, it's faulty, and it's about trying to earn the approval of others. And perfectionism is not a way to avoid shame. It actually is what creates feelings of shame. So how do we identify if you are a perfectionist? I have found that there's 2 ways. First one is, are you pushed by fear? Now, this is about not achieving your goals versus being pulled towards achieving the goals. And the way you know that is, are you immobilized? Are you waiting all the time, procrastinating as a regular kind of behavior, waiting to get it all right and all perfect? That's one. You're so scared about having it not right that you do nothing. That's one. The second is, are you defensive? Do you take criticism well? When we're trying to get everything perfect, we tend to take everything to heart, and it's like, good enough. And it's like you end up having to justify why you've done it a certain way, and you get really defensive. And I get it, because that's the way I was when I was younger. I grew up in my big sister's shadow. My big sister was the ducks of the school. She was school captain. She was everything. She was clever at everything. She was like a straight A student, never had to study like I had to. Bloody hell, I left school at 15. I failed English. I failed so many subjects. I'm ADHD. I have a creative brain that I've learned to make work for me. But in my younger years, I spent the whole time trying to get approval of others, of my teachers, of my family, and trying to stack up to be as good as her. And eventually it led me to burning out. Now, I was mid-20s when I burned out. And I went, after I'd been studying natural therapies and starting to understand all this stuff, I thought, I have to sort this out. And I eventually went and sought the help of a natural therapist, kind of like a natural counselor. And I'm going to share with you the biggest strategy that changed my life, and I still do it 3 decades later. Now, I grew up in the family where, we were heavily disciplined, lived in fear, all those kind of things, and everything had to be perfect and right all the time. To the extent that as an adult, I would even do things like you'd wash up after having dinner at night. Yes, in Australia, for those living in North America, we actually hand wash up our plates and things. We don't go using dishwashers. But I'd do the washing up and the wiping up, and then it was almost like I would polish down the sink to get it perfect. Now, this practitioner suggested that I might leave a fork in the sink at night. just for a night. I thought I was going to explode. I thought my brain was going to explode. I was like filled with anxiety. I went, I can't. It's not quite like everything has to be put away in its place all the time as soon as you finished using it. I was raised that way. And, I live by the rule that if it's hard to do, it's all the more reason to do it. And I got that this was something I needed to learn to do. So I did it. And did it night after night after night until I could do it comfortably uncomfortable. And to this day, I still don't empty the dish drainer at night. I leave, even if it's a fork or a spoon on the dish drainer. I do it because it is such a visual reminder to me to strive for excellence. And I strive for excellence in my life. I really do. I am doing my best all the time with the information and how I am at that time. But I live by the Google model. As an adult, I get this. So I live by the Google model now. Now, Google as a company, I think they're really clever. Whenever they've got any new products, say they've got a new computer system or something or program, as soon as they've got it 80% right, they get it out to market. What happens is people can't help themselves. I'll write in and say, hey guys, this button doesn't work. Or hey guys, maybe you want to tweak this. And they go, wow, thank you so much for showing me that. We'll do that. And that's so clever. They beat everyone to market. There's no stress. They're refining it and getting it better as they go. And it's like it's an action that works. So for me, after the fork on the sink thing over the years, I've learned to live this way, that I never strive for perfection. I just choose not to. As soon as I've got something 80, 90% right, I get it out there because I know I can get what I call as suggested tweaks. I never see any feedback as criticism. I'm like, wow, cool, thanks. That people will say, hey, Jen, maybe there's a typo here or something here. I go, wow, thanks, cool. And I'm welcoming of these tweaks because I know they help me improve what I've done. I don't see them as criticism, but I had to work up to that. And I know what I also know is I know how good I feel when someone lets me help them. So I see that me letting other people, kind of give me feedback is a way that I also help them be of service. And me getting bent out of shape, getting all defensive and seeing it as criticism does nothing to help them. If someone can come to me and say, hey, Jen, saw a typo or I saw this, I can go, wow, cool, thanks for letting me know. They feel good. I feel good. We both keep moving forward. Life works versus me trying to get it perfect, so stressed out about it, doing all this negative emotion, and all that negative emotion is attracting more negative, and I'm totally immobilized and stressed. It doesn't work. So I have a couple of very simple, healthy life hacks for this one today. And they are, the very first one, if you think you need professional help to deal with your being a perfectionist, please go and seek help. I really encourage it. Whether you go the traditional model or whether you go and see someone in the natural therapy field, I don't mind, but I promise being a perfectionist does not serve us. And it just creates a stress in your body that is not worth it. Number two is maybe if you want, try it on, leave a fork or a spoon or something in the sink tonight and just see how it feels, or whatever it is. If you're the kind of person who has to have your desk perfectly tidy, everything put away in its place, because as soon as you finish using something, you've got to put it away in its place. That's how I was raised. Maybe you leave a pen on the desk tonight, just randomly. Whatever it is. Why not? Being a perfectionist doesn't help us. And I see people get so bent out of shape. They do so much harm to their physical bodies. It's really worth learning to take that edge off. Strive for excellence versus being a perfectionist. I promise your physical and emotional health will thank you. And then I want to thank you for being here today. If you enjoyed my podcast, please let me know by leaving a review on Apple Podcast. Every month, I draw one lucky person who leaves a review on Apple Podcast to have a free 1-hour consultation with me. Be sure to subscribe to the show wherever you're tuning in from so that you always catch the next episode. And if you would like to receive a free copy of my Feed Your Body ebook, simply click the link in the comments below. Join my newsletter and we will get that free ebook sent to you. I welcome your emails, and you can write to me at podcast@healthylifehacks.com. jefferies.com.au. Until next time, remember, when it comes to life, live it, love it, and get on with it.